Hello, good people. This is Spot of Nerd, and quite some interesting thingamabobs have, of course, been coming up in the news, not only in the television, the movies, but obviously the real world. Um, so let's break some of this down. Let's go down the. I don't know where do we start with all this because let's go down the OceanGate thing that has happened. Very sad, and I genuinely mean that. I'm not somebody that is, you know, if you do your research on the company, if you do your research on some of these people, for whatever reason, obviously we know the reason, but we have, of course, reached a point in society that, unfortunately, there are some people celebrating, and that is a level of disgusting I never thought possible, but here we are. Tragically, this is officially now just the world we live in. And I would encourage you to look into it further than just what you're reading from social media, or clearly you're probably getting it from certain news sources that most definitely are biased, and that is going to definitely be on the left and the right. So the reason I'm encouraging you to actually go and research some of this is because, to put it bluntly, these individuals, from my understanding, set themselves up for failure. Whether you look at the safety protocols, whether you look at the research, we won't even go into the fact that this CEO basically hated old white guys. But the bottom line is, what it came down to is not even James Cameron would even hire this company when he was filming Titanic because of the sheer lack of safety that was involved in doing this. You're going down into the earth, down as far as you can go. There's no other, I mean, I'm sure there is, but like, you know what I'm talking about, where you are going to a place where very little can survive. Not to mention the sheer pressure that is down there. And I say this as sick as it sounds, but again, hopefully it was quick. When it comes to the passing of these people, again, nobody wants that. And I genuinely mean that. But you can just only hope that in these situations it was quick and nobody suffered. Because my God, could you imagine? It would be tragic and horrible. Just absolutely horrible. So we'll just leave it at that. Because again, it is kind of going around the loops. But I mean, hopefully this is a learning opportunity. You look at Musk, you look at Bezos. These guys are obviously trying to put people in outer space. Obviously, they've already done it. You look at Bezos. I watched that special with William Shatner, aka James T. Kirk. He actually was able to go into space for just a few moments, but again, there are so many safety protocols involved with both of these men that I don't understand that just because you have a lot of money, you think you can do these things, that you can just kind of skimp on such safety protocols, because unfortunately, this is the result. And it is something that, I mean, I'm just speaking my own opinion. I believe it could have been prevented. I really do, from what I've read. But you be the judge. Are you even paying attention? Do you care? Do you watch? It's just really sad to see, because it was something that didn't have to happen. I guess really what it comes down to. So, shifting more gears to the world of double standard, you have Hunter Biden basically getting away with quote unquote murder, metaphorically speaking. And I am not going to go into the details of it because you can go look this information up yourself. But what it comes down to is this: the double standard is real. The double standard is officially right in front of your own eyes. So please do not ever try and tell me about gun control this or privilege that and this and blah de blue de blue blah blah. It's all bullshit. It's all crap. Every single politician right now more than likely has dirt on them that they should be in jail for decades. You're going to go ahead and try to indict Trump for things that basically every other politician on the planet has done, president before him? Again, it's something we'll talk a little bit more about later because I could clearly go off and I want to focus more on the Marvel side of things, which is going to make you laugh your ass off. But I just think with the Hunter Biden thing, you can actually go watch. There are videos online where he is literally having sex with underage children. And this man is still walking around as a free man. Please, and I beg somebody out there in the world, please explain to me why that's okay. Please explain to me how he's not in jail. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? No? Yeah, that's what I thought. So again, we'll just leave it at that. I encourage you to go check it out because my God, if you want to see what the definition of weaponizing an institution looks like, all you got to do is look at this case. All you got to do is look at everything that is going on around you right now. And yet we sit idly back and we do absolutely nothing. P.S. Another thing you should even look into, apparently the IRS lost $6.2 billion and they just gave it to Ukraine. So, yeah, if you are paying attention, that's nearly $200 billion. Please don't ever tell me about a deficit or in need of money XYZ here and there. Don't ever tell me that again because it is again nothing but pure bullshit. It is. It's absolute bullshit. And it needs to be said. This information needs to get out because we are being officially played for fools. And if you don't know it, you are deciding at that point to turn a blind eye. It's not that you are turning a blind eye, you were deciding to turn a blind eye at that point. So that's on you. But let's wrap up the episode here because I want to talk about something quite unique in regards to Marvel Studios, Disney, etc. once again shooting themselves directly in the foot. And we'll even talk a little bit about the first episode because they just recently, basically, the series premiere of Secret Invasion came out just this past week. Now, Cliff Notes, Secret Invasion is based off of it's a pretty badass comic series, and I would encourage you to go read it because just like all of these movies, live action movies, the comics will always be superior to what they do in the live action. Even though, yes, there are a lot of these good live action movies, you'll never beat the original material. So long story short, I won't spoil the story of it, but aliens are trying to invade Earth after Thanos, yada yada yada. Sam Jackson, he of course is going to come back and try to fix things. Blah 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 blah. So, was the episode good? I mean, if I could describe it, meh. It was okay. It's your typical spy whodunit type series, at least from the first episode. Will I continue to watch it? Yes, just because I do genuinely want to see what they're gonna do with this, how they're gonna do it. But I mean, let's be real, I was kind of paying attention more to my phone throughout the episode than the actual episode because there's not really anything that's gonna grab you. You know, the only reason you're watching this is, of course, Sam Jackson's character, and you're curious to see about the scrolls. And I mean, let's be real, it's Marvel. They're like a car wreck at this point. You can't not look away. It really is that point. You know, I've already mentioned this. To me, Marvel is dead, and it really is. You can see it in the story writing, you can see it in the production, you can see it in every aspect that is Marvel right now. There's nothing there. It's a fart in the wind at this point. So, but this is where we get to the interesting part. The interesting part is if you look at the introduction theme for this show. Now, most of you won't give two fucks, two shits, but what it comes down to is the entire opening sequence was done, quote unquote, by AI, artificial intelligence. Now, again, most of you probably hear that and go, I don't really give two shits, whatever. It's just a show, it's a Marvel show, blah, 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 blah. Little have you forgotten that now, 2 months later, there is still one of the largest guild strikes, writer strikes in American history, currently still going on. And a lot of the issues revolving around said strike include AI. So, as you might imagine, if you look at news sources recently, Marvel once again has dug themselves a pretty very magnificent large hole for the basis of you've basically said fuck you to the writers. Think about that. They've been on strike now for 2 months. More money, they want more buy-in, they want more this, they want more that. I mean, sure, if you look at I would, again, one of those, I always encourage you to go research. Are some of their wants, are they valid? Absolutely. Some of them are definitely not, as far as I look at the money side of it. But really, what it comes down to, what Marvel has done specifically in this moment in time, I mean, you couldn't have planned it better to basically stick a middle finger in their faces with this introduction to their new show, Secret Invasion, by having artificial intelligence do it. It's Marvel saying to the writers, "Hey, fuck you. We already did it. So fuck you. We don't need you. Fuck you." It is astronomically hilarious in the respect that Marvel is already in what is it? Is it the red? Yeah, the red. They are losing millions, if not billions of dollars. And now they just basically go and say fuck you to the writers. Now, albeit you can just go back on this channel and see a lot of my reviews and discussions revolving around some of the Marvel projects, and quite frankly, even with writers, they have already shot themselves in the foot and they're pretty much dead. But I just thought it was quite interesting to read when I thought, hold on a second. There's a right when I first discovered that the actual introduction was done by artificial intelligence, was the sequence done very well? I mean, sure, whatever, it's fucking intro. But then you read about, wait, hold on a second. That was what the strike was all about because they're worried that artificial intelligence is basically going to replace them. I mean, to give you another example, I look at, I mean, this is totally left field, but think about this. McDonald's recently just opened up several of their restaurants that have no human beings whatsoever. So you're basically being replaced by technology, whether you're writers, whether you're fast food joints, etc. This is the world we now live in. And I don't mean I'm not trying to be an asshole in terms of the quote unquote hilarious part. But what I'm definitely saying is all these people screaming that they want more money for doing not very much. I mean, again, you look at minimum wages, etc. This is all preventable if you simply put the right people in office. Now, again, that's way more for a different discussion. But again, what it comes down to is this is what you get when you push the wrong buttons, metaphorically speaking. All you have to do is come together and talk on mutual terms with reasonable accommodation, etc., so on and so forth. But when you get greedy, when you push too hard, this is what the outcome is. And I really, my heart goes out to a lot of these folks out there, the writers, etc., because they need work. They need to pay their bills. They need to eat food, so on and so forth. Same with the fast food folks. Obviously, yes, people need to, I mean, what it comes down to is human beings need to contribute to a basic economy so that everybody survives. But we're now hitting that tipping point in society with technology where humans aren't needed anymore. So what is going to happen? Question mark. I mean, again, this is something we can talk about more later, but you got to start thinking about this right now. Even you, where you are right now, where you're sitting, what you do as a career, can you be replaced by a machine? We're already there. But ask yourself what your job, what you do, can you be replaced? I mean, for me, probably. I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't. And it scares the shit out of me. And if it doesn't scare the shit out of you, then you're either rich and retired, don't have to worry about it, or quite frankly, you haven't even thought twice about it. And that's another scary part. Because if you haven't thought about it, I'll tell you what, there's going to come a point where it's going to bitch slap you across the face. And you can't look to us because, hey, we told you. We've been telling you for years. This type of shit was coming. It was only a matter of time. So that one's on you. But again, I just thought it was quite funny, just in relation to the fact that, Marvel is dead and it's bleeding and everything in between. And my God, could they have not made this decision in such a worst case scenario as they have right now? So, um, would I tell you to go watch Secret Invasion? Not really. Save your time. There's other stuff to watch right now, which we'll talk about next time as well. Because there actually is some new shows out that are some pretty good. They're pretty decent to watch. One of them is it's called Based Off of a True Story. It's got the gal from The Big Bang Theory in it. It's on Peacock. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if it actually is based off of a true story, but we'll look into that a little bit more later. But anywho, huge thanks to everybody that is listening and watching. Please do not forget to follow us on the Rumbles, the YouTubes, subscribe where you can, follow and like and comment. Let me know your thoughts on what we talked about today. I'd be definitely curious to hear your side of things. And until then, folks, we will see you next time. Later, y'all.